Percy and I spent some time making some really nice comment cards for.
Want to make some beautiful
awesome.
comment cards.
For what's his name?
His name is Balan.
Balan. We're gonna make some wonderful comment cards for Balan.
Stop this! This is... I can't even see! What are you doing? Don't destroy another table! She's frantically trying to stop this chaos. There's now a bear. What are you doing, Keyleth?
I'm a bear.
You're a bear. I'm a bear.
What happened?
You're a bear. You want anything?
What are you doing?
You see the shape of Balgus just like in the middle of this fight ring.
So
do some tricks. Start clapping and like dancing around.
Okay, that's a good idea. I go.
That's what she tells you.
I go.
You can.
I see her as my like trainer, and I'm like, boom, boom.
Everyone,
circus bearing.
gather round and watch the amazing trinkets.
I'm gonna cast. I start
music.
playing music from my shawm instrument, which exists.
Yeah, it does.
A rousing, jaunty, bear-like tune.
Yes.
And
I'm gonna cast prestidigitation and do fireworks on top of it.
Okay, so
You should give me a fez.
now mind you,
Prestidigitation me a
this
fez.
is
Can I do little hats?
you haven't done a fez yet. You need to work on that. Couple more levels.
No. I'll try.
So have you ever seen fireworks go off in a cloud? You get that little boom, boom. Yeah, there's a bunch of that
How do we
above
clear
you.
the fog?
Cloud
just there.
light
I'll
flashing.
let the fog
You begin singing your tune. Do you give an inspiration dice to her?
Sure, I would love to give her an.
All right, so
the
a
fog
D8 inspiration dice from the bard as you hear the enchanting, jaunty, bear dancing theme.
Oh, look over there! It's a bear! Yeah!
Bard getting his bard on. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Oh no.
Oh, me?
No, she does.
Things that I'm good at.
You're performing as a bear!
Hey!
How nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Oh, hello.
And
Just upstairs.
Do I get an inspiration die from him or
you do,
something?
yes.
Okay. What am I rolling? What do
Roll
I do?
D20.
Do I get
add
to
your- add your
assist since
wisdom
I gave him a
modifier.
kiss?
No assistance on this. This only affects the
D20.
DC.
Oh,
Modifier.
Let's do this, man.
Save Grog.
Save Grog.
For the chat room.
Nauseous. No.
What'd you roll? What'd you roll?
Where's the inspiration die?
Where's
Where's the inspiration die?
You get advantage on that?
It's a D8, right?
D8.
Do I get advantage on this since I'm taking time?
Yes.
Do I get
As
advantage?
this, yeah, you have advantage
I
on
do.
the roll.
Okay.
Keyleth.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, I'm still gonna do the inspiration dice just in case these. Okay, that's good.
That's good.
Okay, so
What's the total?
17 plus 12, which
Plus
is
12. Yeah, with your
where is
wisdom modifier.
plus 6 is my wisdom modifier. My heart is pounding. So that's 30? No, 29?
29. That should be enough.
Oh god.
Percy.
Keyleth,
You don't have one.
I think you should turn into a eagle. Can she turn into something big enough that can carry me?
She can, yeah. A giant eagle, I believe you can, yeah.
What if you turn into something big enough that it can carry me? I hop on your back, and then we throw something at it, and then fly away.
While you guys are having this conversation, because you're talking to each other,
We were talking really quietly.
the thing in the corner kind of rouses and then shoots up out of sudden like fear movement, looking about. You see, dressed in rags, you guys are seeing this for the first time, but it's familiar. Smooth head, purplish and blue in color, a series of tentacles in its mouth, a giant scar drawn across one of its eyes, and it looks filthy, and it looks desperate. And it's just, and looks at the two of you, and you hear a sudden voice in your minds.
Oh,
No
fuck.
movement, just conversation. Say, who are you?
Maybe it's a
I drop to my knees and I look at him and I just say, "It's okay, we're friends."
It puts up a hand like this, and you see there's a flicker of arcane energy, and a barrier appears between you and this creature, and just looks.
I take my druid craft and I just make a little flower.
You are currently in a cell with a dead body draped over you.
It's cozy down here. Okay. So with the dead body, I hear what's going on. We're rolling it up.
Yeah.
I
Get the body off of you.
morph into Minxie form. And as I morph into Minxie form, I take the dead body that's on top of me and just pick it up with my mouth.
Okay. In your mouth, the body stirs. It wasn't quite dead.
It was supposed to, I wanted a dead one.
It makes me
Can
sad
I
on
drop that one and find like a dead
Well, you
one?
wanted a dead one. It is now.
Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. He's dead. Fuck
The
it.
entire game being the worst person in the world.
I know. I tried so hard,
Was
you
it a
guys. I
child,
tried
Jericho?
so hard. And it's still the fucking worst.
Takes a few lumbering steps forward and begins to just sink into the sand and gravel below. Just
Oh, wait.
eventually
Have you guys seen this one? As I go into the ground.
most awkward earth elemental exit ever. After a few moments, Keyleth reappears and her.
But before I reappear, I go, Grog, we're a boat.
She's in the floor, and she's in a boat. It's magic.
I'm gonna do it. Fuck it.
What are you doing?
All right,
YOLO.
YOLO. I'm gonna run off the carpet, and I'm gonna do a swan dive.
You're on the,
She's not on the carpet.
you're not on the carpet with Tiberius. You're on the edge of the platform. Tiberius is up here.
It's fine. She's
I'm
there.
on the edge of the platform,
There you go.
running, and I'm gonna swan dive. And as I swan dive,
Athletics check first.
okay,
Don't fall.
15.
Okay. All right. So you leap off and
was
swan
close.
dive.
And as I get closer, mid swan dive, I'm gonna turn into my earth elemental and grab them and take them down with me.
All right. Go ahead and make a grapple check.
Keyleth,
So
come
roll
on.
And then would you say I'm 60 feet within range of that guy?
Oh yeah. You're within
He's-
25, 30 feet of him.
Oh, am I? Well, let me back up a bit then. Just
Okay.
right, yeah. That's, oh, I can walk across that.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
It's a wooden lattice. Basically, it's mostly covered. It's just what they remove when they're putting large cargo into the ship.
Right, gotcha. And there's still a rider on that guy?
Yes, there's a rider on all of them.
Okay, I am going to cast Polymorph on that wyvern. I'm gonna turn him into a bunny rabbit.
You're gonna kill a bunny?
No, you won't die.
Are you like a bunny?
6 hit points?
The guy riding him, it's gonna
It's like
be
the
like.
least innocent thing she's killed in this game, so.
That is an Acme cartoon. Where
That-
you
oh
go,
my
I just think
God,
it's
that'd
gonna be
be
funny.
crazy.
That's pretty much
Alright.
what I thought.
Bark, bark, thanks, Easter Bunny.
All right. So what's the DC on that?
He has to make a wisdom saving throw. The wyvern has to make a
And
wisdom saving throw.
what's your DC on that? Your spell DC.
18.
Into what creature?
Bunny.
A wyvern.
Yeah. And all right. So
Oh, a bunny.
so.
Or you know what? You know what'd be funnier?
Like,
Stick with the bunny.
Bunny's good.
Oh, let's do it. Let's stick with the bunny. Let's stick with the bunny.
The wyvern turns into a bunny rabbit from underneath its rider and goes.
You trespass into our home. I will ask you once your business before we let the mountain's fury take you.
Please. I am Keyleth of the Fire Ashari, and I am here to further my Aramente.
Thank goodness it's back for a second. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll with advantage.
I kneel down toward Keyleth.
and I
I
vow
we
to
all
leave
do
the
it.
We all do it.
No, yeah.
And I look around and I'm like,
You have the blessing of the Pyra behind you.
Bravo! Now looking of much better health than it was when it arrived. Now kind of flutters its wings out like a stretching motion, and as it does, its head kind of glides down and looks right towards you. This giant beak that looks like it can snap you in two with a single bite.
I reach up to it and just reach out to pet its beak.
I'm gonna ask you to make let's make an animal handling check on this, just to see where this goes.
Okay.
Say
I'm
goodbye
gonna
to that
gently
hand.
start swooping down to check on my friend.
19.
All right. The large bird-type creature retracts from your attempted touch and begins to rear back into the nest in a defensive position. Doesn't bite your hand off.
I just kneel down a bit. Produce a few good berries. Reach out.
Bye, Keyleth. This is how we lose one of our members. Feeding a bird.
Skywalker your hand.
The creature kind of like leans forward, and the giant bird, you can see its dark black eyes kind of staring at you. Each eye probably about the size of your torso.
Jeez.
As the giant beak comes down, you can see the moonlight kind of gliding off the smooth exterior of the dark black beak. It kind of smells, and you take 27 points of piercing damage as the animal takes the good berries and almost your entire hand with it as well. At that size, hard to be gentle.
It's okay.
Being friendly.
It's all right.
So you retract your hand, which is now essentially in many ways bones are broken, feels like. There's blood streaming down the side of your hand and like drip, 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 drip.
It's a good girl.
Is it?
Swallows.
Good girl.
Is it a good girl?
I'm feeding a tiny snack to Lockheed.
I turn back to Byron.
And say, ow.
What's the damage on that? Is it like 2d8 bludgeoning and 2d8?
46?
They take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 46 cold damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll for both.
And
Inspiration.
It's a save for half, right?
Inspiration?
Oh. Well, I didn't do it.
2d8 bludgeoning. That's 7 bludgeoning. 4d6. Oy, not great at all.
Nope.
4, 5, 6,
8.
7, 8.
Total of 8. 8 plus, what was the other one?
7.
7, okay.
And it's difficult terrain.
Okay. So the first area, suddenly you see some of the clouds above you begin to funnel downward, and a few bolts of electricity through it. As the funnel hits, it grows dark, and then all of a sudden this cold wind begins to swirl around it, and with that, it almost the cloud almost seems to tear open within itself, and a sheet of jagged ice and sleet begins to pour downward into the center of this undead horde. As it does, you can see probably a good 25, 30 of these are just blown apart. Bone shards scattered around, and you can see bits of rusted metal weapons and armor thrown left and right. The ice then kind of coalesces over the floor of this area, and some of the skeletons just kind of slip, but they keep marching forward. It definitely took a chunk, but as it continues pushing forward,
Now we can run.
Good job. I grab the back of her shirt and yank her backwards.
Okay, you guys.
Do it, girl.
Okay.
Burn him.
So I turn and I start just shouting to the mist, and I say, "What's the matter, Sylas? Afraid of little gnome and a druid?" And I just blast him with Sunbeam.
That was the lamest line.
Thanks, I'm not good with lines. Keyleth isn't good with lines.
Afraid of a little
Are you
with
afraid
no
of
damage.
us? You afraid of us?
Let's workshop that
I
one.
heard Percy try to do lines, and I'm like, that's what badasses do.
Low charisma
Well,
and a
I
lot
guess-
of damage.
I guess in this particular instance, I want to ask you, how do you want to do this?
Sorry, cursed gun.
There's still a his semi visible form of like his body, but in a mist form, is trying to slowly escape off of the top of this structure.
Okay, Pike is standing right next to him.
Correct.
So I'm gonna use Pike and kind of use the light that I have off of Pike and kind of combine it to do like a joint Sunbeam, holy in bomb.
Okay. Great.
He's gonna eat a bag of holy dicks. Is what you're saying, right?
Yes, I want him to eat a bag of holy dicks.
Okay.
Now explain that, please.
Okay.
Hey, Boo. I'll see you soon.
The tree silently fist bump you through its arcane.
You be good. You take care of you, man.
You hear a voice whisper in the back of your mind, "You too, girl."
Okay. And now with all of the rage, thinking about all...
I turned someone into a chicken.
I want some feather down pillows for our loft. I
Chicken's
channel
not vegan.
all of my Fire Ashari ancestors.
Ooh.
And I cast my 7th level Firestorm.
Oh god, we're all gonna die.
Okay.
So as I concentrate, enraged at the sight of dragons, I have 10...
Did you get me away? Because
Yes, you're fine. You're fine. No, he didn't get you away because he knew this is happening. It just happened to work out. So I have 10 10-foot cubes
That all have to be connected.
that all have to be connected.
So you can go like.
So I'm gonna, I'm gonna start here,
2,
and I'll work my way over.
3.
They're 10 foot.
4,
Remember, they're 10 foot.
Yep. 5. Okay, yes.
But they're attached, so
2,
they're bigger than that.
3. Well, they're 10 foot by 10 foot, which is about this size.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So like it's 1,
1.
2,
It's happening instantaneously.
3, 4, 5, 6,
6,
7, 8,
9. Get that guy.
10.
Oh, okay, yeah, get the
You can
wyvern.
You
Get
can
the
get
wyvern.
all of them there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I want to talk to you. Yeah. I would ask my brother, but knowing him, he would walk away. What happened?
Keyleth has a hard time looking her in the eye.
Look at me, Keyleth. Be strong. You're royalty. Tell me what happened.
Vex, I don't want to ever see you like that again. I don't want to ever see anybody like that again.
I grab both sides of her face and force her to look at me. I'm all right. I'm still here. Okay? I need you to tell me what happened. Because between us, Vax is off. Something's wrong. And I need to know what it is.
We all watched you die.
Yes?
It's like...
How did I get back? Who brought me back? Kashaw? Zara? My brother? Anyone else?
I guess you could say probably an unseen entity, an unseen force. Oh, I'm lightheaded.
Sit down.
Okay.
There's a bed. Sit down.
Percy.
Percy helped.
Let's skip that. When we brought you back, Kashaw performed a resurrection ritual.
Like we did with Pike.
Yes.
Yes.
And he called upon a deity, and at first he was afraid that it was Vesh, which he was quite terrified about.
His wife.
Yes.
Yes.
But that, I don't believe, is the presence that answered his call.
Okay.
And
Fluttery words here, darling. Get to the point.
I thought I was gonna lose you both. I thought I was gonna lose you and Vex.
Why Vax? Did he get hurt as well? No. What did he do?
I don't know. I don't know what he did. He said to take him instead, is what he told the entity. He offered his life for yours. And my biggest fear was that neither of you were gonna come back. He offered his life for you. And for all we know, that offer was accepted.
Right.
If I had to guess, it was probably the Raven Queen herself.
Well, it's rather suiting, isn't it?
Seems to do that quite a lot.
Keyleth? Thank you, dear. And I leave.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go outward in this direction. And it's 10 foot wide and 30 foot long.
Okay.
So I'm actually, let me back up a little bit out of it.
So it's 10 feet wide, and it'll go like that, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so you back up to there?
Yes.
Boom. All right. Ooh, okay, dexterity save on each of them. Dexterity save on the first one. That is...
Since it's water, do they have like disadvantage?
No, not from the saving throw. Okay, that is... The first one does make a saving throw, however, that is a 19 plus 3, so 22. On a success, it takes half as much damage and is not prone, so it takes half. The other one, however, does fail.
Do they take like more damage because it's water?
How much is in the spell?
It does 48 damage.
Right, go ahead and roll that. I'd say, how many gallons would that be? That's a shit ton of gallons.
Ooh, that's good.
That don't suck.
12 plus 8 is 20, plus another 8 is 28. Math.
That's a D8 there.
That's yes, it is.
14. Okay, 14 is, so that's 14 and 28. Okay, I'd say for that tidal wave, how many gallons of water would we say each one of those?
It's 30 foot tall. It's a 30 foot
Well,
tall.
it's 10 foot tall, 10 foot wide, 10
and
foot tall, 10 foot wide. So that's
it's 30 feet long.
that's like
4 gallons, easily.
I'd say we're looking at like close to 50 gallons of water, right?
Probably way
Probably
more than
more.
way
A lot of
more than
gallons.
50
A
gallons.
lot of gallons for sure.
I think it's like a million
It'd
gallons.
be like enough totally.
Somewhere
to
between 50 and a
put
million.
that
Somewhere
fire
between
out.
50
Guys,
and a
why
million.
did we
Okay.
switch to metric?
It would be a few hundred gallons of water.
We'll say for the purposes of this.
How many deciliters of water?
I know. for the width of it and the space you had to pass it through, we'll say roughly 60 gallons of water passes through each of these elementals.
Okay.
Water susceptibility. For every 5 feet the elemental moves in water, or for every gallon of water splashed on it, it takes 1 point of cold damage. So they both take an additional 60 points of damage.
And you right now, 7 and 7 is 14, plus another 6. Bring me to 22.
20.
20. Plus 8. 28 again. That's what I had last time, right? 28.
Kismet.
28 points of water damage, plus the additional blast of water gallons surging through them, manages to completely scatter both of these.
Oh my god,
big
he was
guy!
Found
huge
out
too!
how much water we had. We actually had a critter tweet us how much water.
How much water would it be in that tidal wave?
225 gallons.
Oh, there's no way they're surviving that. 3, 2, and then a scattered like 4-ish in the back. They go bolting through, eyes around, looking for any sort of sight of anyone waiting at the front of the gate. They begin to slow their pace a little bit, not seeing anybody immediately out there as they begin to go through the center of the archway.
Someone make a distraction. Quick.
No, I step out from cover very slowly and walk out in the middle of the road.
Oh, shit.
Okay, as you step out, they all immediately put their hands out and stop. And to the guards, shout out, "You! Who goes there?" Two of them of that group start stepping backwards, while
the two of the guards that were at the station at the gate the entire time just go,
cut him down.
and they go into a run through the rest of the 10-15 foot area around the center part of the gate out into the main area out front. As they begin stepping, watching in the distance, you notice one foot crumbles through, and all of a sudden the second foot and the earth begins to just tumble out from underneath two of them. 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, all begin just like the first line, the first 2 groups weren't even paying attention and focused on you as they charged through, and all begin to tumble inside. Yes! Of the last 4, 2 of them managed to stop in time to kind of catch themselves. Of all the ones that fell, though, the ones in front who originally got caught have no saving throw. They just plummet screaming down into this.
2 managed not to fall?
Well, 2 managed not to fall
feet.
right now.
That's 180 feet.
Is it 180 feet?
Two managed not to fall?
Tiny little raven-sized face.
So cute. Yeah.
As you guys watch, Keyleth apparate right in front of Vax.
Oh,
and go speeding past you as she's now plummeting from the air, having summoned to your
I'm
side.
technically an earth elemental still.
into air.
She bammed
Earth
next to
elemental.
him, and then.
Still Earth Elemental?
She's
Yeah.
not falling. Wait, she is
So
falling?
yeah, so you see Keyleth as a giant boulder that appears at the side. You have to dodge out of the way, woof, as this giant rock being out of the corner of your eye just appears before you. However, she just sinks straight past you. From at the same, you're flying as low as you can. You're going terminal velocity, and there is this like this rock entity plummeting at the same rate.
A meteor.
So.
You know, it's a good idea when he was still in the dragon.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was. So at about 200 feet up, you continue to plummet.
Oh God. 200 feet?
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
All right. You're not doing anything else?
Huh?
You're gonna take the fall.
Well. What's below me?
The very edge of the bramblewood and the base of the mountain. You're not quite sure where you'll land. You just see treetops and rocks.
All bad things.
Yeah,
But what happens? What's the worst that's gonna happen?
I would just hit 0 hit points as an earth elemental and
Unless
go
you go
back to Keyleth.
way
And then the rest
below.
of the damage would carry over.
Right, but at
So you're
200
guessing.
feet
You're guessing.
isn't it eagle? That's survivable.
It's 20d6.
20d6.
You'll be fine. What's that?
It's up to you. You want to take
60
it?
points.
It's 60
Yeah.
It's 60
It's
points.
roughly 60 points, which I've got 67 left as this earth elemental.
All right, so you're gonna take it.
Plus hers.
So as you,
I'm hang on, wait.
It's gonna look so good.
Wait. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm gonna ball up like a cannonball and light up my hands that I keep forgetting because I didn't know I could do them in elemental form, by the way.
Yes, you
Thought
can.
it was only beast form. And I'm gonna light myself on fire and go meteor.
All right, you guys watch as the earth elemental curls up, forms this streak of flame and smoke behind, and now a plummeting Keyleth meteor goes slamming into the base of the mountain just past you as you pull up from actually impacting at terminal velocity.
I know, it's trying to leave an impression. Is the nausea like always happen? Is that always a thing?
Is it the people, or is it the fact that you have finally realized how pointless it all is?
No! Maybe it's the fact that I feel like I've been lied to my entire goddamn life and it's all crashing down upon me right now.
She's Jewish.
So Jewish. So yeah, you could say, how about a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. How did you deal with it?
I found other places where I could do good things.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, I make wagon couples.
Oh.
The thing that
I don't
hooks-
know exactly what you said.
You have a wagon.
Sure.
And then you have a horse.
You're right, yeah.
And then something needs to hook the horse to the wagon.
Gotcha.
And if you have a bad one of those, it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And so people need good ones of those.
I don't know at all what you just told me. I'm not gonna lie. But I think I get the message.
Well, I'm guessing that you are bothered by the fact that no matter what you do, you seem to end up destroying more things than you fix.
Yes! Jeez, you're like the first no one else
They
gets
don't get it, do they?
No, they don't.
No.
Is that it? That's it? We will destroy everything we touch. We will cause more harm than good. We will carve a path of destruction and make it seem like we're doing good, and then people will worship us because they think we're heroes, when in the back of my head I'm thinking about all the death that has come by our hands.
That can be a lot of it. I'm not going to lie to you about that.
Yeah, you know, Kara, you're not really, like, helping, making me feel better about this. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I imagine that your friends will tell you a lot of things that would make you feel real good. But I'm not one for short-term solutions. I think that you're right, and I think that you've obviously put a lot of thought into this. And
So much thought.
And
I swear, got nosebleeds. Keep going. That's beside the point.
And I've known people like you before, people who are very sensitive to this sort of thing. And I have been the sort of person you are. And and it's not simple. You know, your friend, you know, who lived here for a while. The big one, what's his name?
Oh, Grog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't have this.
Yeah.
He has the opposite of this.
Mhm.
It's all good for him, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're kind of jealous, aren't you?
I so badly wish I could have what he has.
Yeah. But somebody has to look at the big picture. And sometimes that's us. And usually it's unpleasant. But somebody needs to do it.
So you're saying this is my curse? This is my duty?
I'm saying that if you aren't careful, it will rip you apart from the inside. But that's not a long-term solution. That's just another piece of destruction. You need to find a way to live with the fact that you do what you can, because that's what you can control. And sometimes bad things happen anyway. And so you just have to decide where you're going to pick your hill. You find your hill. Everybody gets one hill, and then you plant your flag and you can die on that one, but you have to be careful, because you only get one. If you're really unlucky, you get more than one.
And what if the ultimate problem is that I feel like I have had zero control from the start since birth? I didn't want any of this. I didn't want my abilities.
No.
I didn't know I was special.
Oh.
Until now. And I so desperately just want to be normal. I want to go back to being ignorant and bliss and...
Then I do have a momentary, like, short-term solution for you.
Shoot.
It's actually there, and I will get you another one. Yep.
Yeah, totally.
And it will help a little bit for now. It'll smooth out some of the rough edges.
All right.
It's long enough for us to talk for a while, because I've been down this road. Okay? And the thing is, you're not wrong, and you're not crazy, but it's not hopeless either.
Okay.
I'll do maybe one of these. It feels like she wants one of these. I can read that.
Like, sit down and meditate for a second. And I want to cast Speak with Plants. And have a little chat with Sun Tree.
Okay. You cast the spell, you reach out and touch the roots of the tree, the roots of which have more color than they did before. The dull gray has come more of a full brown. The earth here smells of fresh, damp earth. The tree, while still in the winter phase, is definitely teeming with life to where it once didn't.
I reach out and I touch the roots. Can I just kind of like sense like the arcane ley lines that Alora was talking about, that the tree is kind of in the center of?
Not really. In speaking to the tree, you can ask questions, but you're not quite. You find yourself unable to tune into that or tap into that source of magic at this place, at least.
Okay. So I just reach out and touch a tree and I say, "Hey, old friend. How you feeling? Doing better?"
Hey, bud. Much better.
You're pretty cool, Sun Tree.
Sun Tree, A-okay.
Hey, Sun Tree.
Yeah?
I was just wondering if you could tell me anything about this terrible cancerous tree in the Feywild. If you knew anything about it, he might be like your brother
Tree
or
cancer?
something.
What?
No, okay. There's this tree in the Feywild, and it might have a man living in it called Fenthras, and no, sorry, that's the name of the bow. Bow is in it, named Fenthras, and it might be a really sick tree. Can you tell me where there's a really sick tree, maybe in the Feywild?
That sounds sad, but no, I don't know a tree like that. Sorry. I've been here in Whitestone since day one.
Want to play hacky sack?
So I graduated from Berkeley, made my way to Whitestone.
My twig, smoke the dude.
Barkley.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah. Cool.
Birkenstocks.
I like it. Hey, Suntree.
Yeah.
You apparently kind of live in the middle of all these arcane ley lines of the world.
Yeah.
How far do those stretch? Like, where
Long way, Kiki. Long way.
Can you kind of give me like a rough idea? Of like, do they go to the other side of the world? Can you kind of stretch all over the world?
Just right here. Pelor put me here for a reason.
Who? Pelor?
Yeah.
Right. So you're not like a natural tree, you're a tree from the gods?
Sure.
All right. Well, anyway, you're really awesome, Sun Tree.
Speak for yourself, Kiki.
Yeah, you're so cool. Okay, well, it's good talking to you.
You too.
I'll walk through you soon, okay? Bye.
I have been thinking about it so much.
About this time, I take the limes and I go, "Hey, Pike, look! Fun!" As I juggle them. I'm having fun!
I feel that this is a skill check. I spent too long in high school learning how to juggle. Skill check.
Make an acrobatics check.
No, it's not how it works.
Fuck you, Percy, you're not here!
That's it's off the table. It's an automatic fail.
It landed on a.
It's a fudge. It landed on a blanket on an angle.
What is it? Just a straight
Acrobatics.
dex acrobatics?
Sorry. I have
10.
And the limes all over the ground.
It's okay. This is fine. Just keep going.
Keyleth slowly backs away, realizing the moment, and
Sorry.
goes to get less bruised limes.
Anyway.
It looks like a crest.
That's a threshold crest.
Threshold.
A threshold crest.
Crest.
Okay,
Sure.
Keyleth, the thing we talked about.
And I start casting stone shape right under the threshold of the door to the room that we're in. And I cut out a crest in from the threshold.
What crest do you create? What does it look like?
A white stone crest from the threshold of the door.
We break it.
There's a piece of your threshold crest. So these trees that are moving appear to be living trees, more or less.
Appear to be, yeah.
Correct.
From what you can tell.
I'm gonna cast Tree Stride on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go into Fire Elemental form and Flame On.
Yeah! Oh, shit, girl!
I love you, Vax. And I'm sorry for being me and that it took me this long to say it.
Sorry.
Yeah, me too.
I love you. That's pretty fucking great.
That is pretty great. Yeah. High five. Yeah.
Sets in the weird kind of, this like slight vibration at the back of the skull, and it's like, element of this reminds you of being very drunk, but with but a few sips.
Hey, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah? You alright?
Oh, holy
Weird,
shit.
it's really weird.
Oh, this is it.
Hand keg.
Oh,
It's on air.
We're good.
I take them by the cheeks. Can you feel this?
Yeah.
You can. Can you feel this?
Does it taste good?
No. Do you recommend it?
Are you gonna try it, Grog?
It is up to you. What do you wish?
While they're having this conversation, I'm gonna kind of lean into the lizards and cast Speak with Animals.
All right, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Very under my breath.
Tossed from the casino.
Here we go again.
Let's have a look at Speak with Animals. Let's see exactly what components it requires.
Oh no.
Wow.
Because this is going to largely
Just very, discreetly here.
verbal and somatic. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Just kinda,
sleight of hand.
What is that?
That's nuts.
One. Was it a one?
Of course, it's a 1.
Oh no! Keyleth, don't get arrested
Dude,
again!
you are the biggest felon of our group.
Not even 2 minutes in the Lux Run Casino. You lean forward and begin muttering beneath your breath the various druidic incantations, and as your fingers begin to manipulate the spectrum of divine energies at your hand, a giant, meaty arm just claps down on your hand and pulls you to the side, and the guard pulls you off your feet up his face.
Excuse me, are you trying to do funny business?
I'm very bad at funny. You talk to other people in our group for funny.
I'm ignoring this.
You are out of the run.
And the other gentleman grabs your shoulder, and they begin pushing you out towards the exit of the Lux Run.
Oh, come on, man. Look,
Anybody do anything?
Nope.
All right. I'm gonna. As you keep conversing with this gentleman, you watch as Keyleth gets pushed very forcefully towards the back door on the opposite side of the chamber and kicked out onto the street. Like full-on boot to the ass, about a 3-foot arc before slamming onto the cobblestone, the dark red cobblestone streets of the Suncut Bazaar.
You guys, I just got kicked out of a casino! Oh, I'm so cool! I'm cool, Skellen, I'm cool!
By the way, you lost your concentration, and currently the shoulders are now damp on you.
I'm a little soggy, but I'm so cool.
I can. Get us closer.
What?
Trust
Get
her,
us
she's
closer.
crazy.
Straight through.
Okay.
Fastest route, Captain.
I trust you. He brings it around, begins pulling forward. You see he takes this small little like metallic rod on the side and pushes it forward even further, and the crystals kind of flicker for a second, and it kind of leans. The whole ship kind of leans a little bit, and in a forward direction.
Star Trek it.
It takes about an hour or so before the shade from the thunderheads, which you can't even see where they stop. It just goes up and up and up and up, begin to meet, and you're starting to see flashes and clouds of lightning.
Keek?
I go ahead and I start casting my first 8th level spell, which is
Disintegrate Storm.
Control weather.
What?
Really?
Your storm!
Yeah.
Everything I've ever wanted, you guys!
Oh shit.
My childhood coming true!
Yeah, concentration for up to 8 hours.
Oh!
So, you guys watch as Keyleth stands at the bow of the ship, puts her arms out, and you see the flashes of lightning in the cloud. A bolt strikes her in one arm, and she just holds it in place. The bolt kind of uses her as a conduit and then vanishes into her arm. Her other arm pulls another bolt to it, and it vanishes into her arm, and you can see the energy is now circling around. She brings her arms out and thrusts them into the storm, and the lightning protrudes out of each arm. As it hits the clouds seem to almost melt away and carve this central path in the center. The clouds are being pushed back at gale force. These winds are just separating them. And you watch, for 5 miles around you, the storm basically parts to nearly nothing except for the very peripheral to the right and left side.
What the?
You see Captain Damon go, okay, I see your point.
Hot fucking damn, Keyleth.
You know, I thought it was a
concentrate on
possibility,
this.
but this is the first time I'm sure your girlfriend is way cooler than you.
Everyone knew
It's not the first time.
Thread, and you grasp it, and as you hold it with your fingers, you feel it fight. In turn, you watch as Keyleth's hand bolts around with nothing in her grasp, and you hear the voice whisper,
No, I finally have him. I finally...
And with that, you snap with your fist. The shadow screams and vanishes, and there you see a brief glimmer of light. The remaining spirit of Percival.
I grabbed the skull from around his neck and I gave him. I say, Percy, we had many conversations about life and death. And in many ways, you are my total opposite. But you are also my best friend. And even though I told you on that day that I gave you this, that we're all gonna die and that you can still be saved from yourself, it was clear the journey was far from over, and it still isn't. And then I'm going to cast Conjure Within Beings, and I'm going to have a barrage of crows come from around me. And I'm gonna tell him, as much as you might think, your journey is not over. Just because yours might be, ours isn't. And we need you. And I need you.
His head and shoot out the wings. and lend them to Percival like the crow he is. Like a cloak.
It's long.
There's beauty pictures in it.
Keyleth, I write to let you and your companions know that the repair of Western is proceeding well. I will not bore you with the details. Suffice to say that our children are well fed and safe, our elderly and infirm are cared for and comfortable. Without the help of you and yours, this would not be the case. The folk in charge argue constantly, but that is to be expected. And it is no bad thing. They all want the same good things in different ways. I listen mostly and do what I can to make sure that they listen to each other. Without listening, nothing good can happen. The town... When I say the repair is going well, it is a hard thing for me to talk about. I am not a particularly clever man, and much of this is new to me. When you make a mistake with metal, you can melt things down and start afresh. It is irritating, and it costs in time and soot and sweat, but it can be done. There's a comfort in iron, knowing that a fresh start is always possible. But a city is not a sword. It is a living thing, and living things defy simple fixing. Roots cannot be reforged, they scar, and broken branches must be cut and sealed with tar, and this makes me angry, as it always has, and my anger has no place to go. It was easier when I was young. I could use my anger like a hammer against the world. I was so sure of myself, and my friends, and my rightness. I would hammer at the world, and breaking felt like making to me, and I was good at it. And while I was not wrong, neither was I entirely right. Nothing is simple. I do not work in wood. I am not brave enough for that. There is a comfort in iron, a promise of safety, a second chance if mistakes are made. But a city is more a forest than a sword. No, it needs more tending than that. Perhaps a city is like a garden, then. So these days, it seems I have become a gardener. I dig foundations in the earth. I sow rows of houses. I plan and plant. I watch the skies for rain and ruin. I cannot help but think that you would be better at this. But circumstance has put both of us in our own odd place. You are forced to be a hammer in the world, and my ungentle hands are learning how to tend a plot of land. We must do what we can do. Did you know that there are some seeds that cannot sprout unless they are first burned? A friend once told me that. She was a bookish sort. I think of gardening constantly these days. I wear your gift, and I think of you. And I think it is interesting that there are some living things that need to pass through fire before they flourish. I ramble. You have the heart of a gardener, and because of this, you think of consequence, and your current path pains you. I am not wise, and I do not give advice, but I have come to know a few things. Sometimes breaking is making. Even iron can start again, and there are many things that move through fire and find themselves much better for it afterward. I have enclosed a gift. Once it was a sword, but it has changed. It is a small thing and silly. Please forgive an old man for his foolishness. Still, I hope it brings you some small comfort. Kindly, Care.
Holy shit.
What's the thing?
I don't know what to say.
Are you alright?
It was Care.
Is he proposing to you?
It's got branches on it.
It's quite beautiful.
Wow.
Does it say something?
I have passed through fire.
Wow. Motherfucker, that's cool.
Thordak will experience all of those things. He will burn and he will suffer. And you will not be there to watch it happen. Keyleth, you want to feel the burning inside of you? Oh, you will feel it, Raishan. But it will not be from Thordak, or whatever proposed cure he made up. The burning you feel will be from the souls of 10,000 Fire Ashari as they sear your flesh. And the last thing that you will see will be my face as I watched you suffer, as you watched a quarter of my civilization burn!
Child, I commend your bravery in the face of certain doom. But think before you give in to such base passions. There is much to be gained by us working together, and so much more to be lost.
Oh, you commend me for bravery? Oh, Raishan, for someone who is supposed to be so smart, I am not afraid. I know what you are. You are a parasite. You walk around calling yourself a magnificent ancient dragon. You are nothing more than a leech. You consumed the energy of my people for years. And we're supposed to just trust you?
Child, your anger is misplaced.
Call me child one more goddamn time!
I move behind Keyleth.
Oh, that's a natural one.
Wait, what?
I don't think I can get worse than that. That is one.
Two natural ones?
What? No!
Oh my god, the dragon's gonna fucking kill us right
Oh
now.
my god, Mike.
Oh my god.
The plan hasn't even started.
Our plan.
Dice jail, dice
We're all
jail.
about to lie down for a 3-hour nap? What are you talking about?
Off to a great start.
As you guys begin stepping through the snow, the Pike, you take a step and you hear this strange sound, and you feel this kind of slight shift beneath your feet. And you watch as some of the snow begins to trickle off the edge of the cliffside.
Pike?
I'm gonna not move.
Don't move either.
Wait, run!
Do we not move or do we run?
The opposite.
We should run. We should run because it's probably coming down. I'm gonna run!
As soon as you both push off running, a portion of the cliff actually shears off and begins to slide down the side. Pike, if you can go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw fast.
Oh my god, Matt! Why are you trying to kill her right when she gets here?
Yeah, Matt, why did you roll 2 natural ones?
God, I hate these dice. Wait, what did you say it is?
Dexterity saving throw.
I can't burn a luck on
Wait.
her, can I?
I get nothing. Okay. A 4.
A 4. You begin to see Pike slide down off the edge.
I cast Grasping Vine
Okay.
to grab onto her.
With that, some of the nearby frozen plants on the edge that were largely covered with snow that were revealed as the rest of the snow began to crumble off. A large vine shoots out, wraps around you, and pulls you back up onto the side of the cliff. Fine. The rest of the rock and snow and ice you hear clattering into the ravine below.
Run.
All right, you guys run. You see the doorway shimmering before you. You get close and closer, and you hear in the distance this strangely familiar, distant echoing.
Oh, come on. What is that noise?
Fucking run.
You both just get to the doorway in time. The snowfall's still there, though gentler than it was through the night. You both dart inside, slamming the mansion door behind you into a warmer, comfortable, quieter atmosphere.
Hey, what just happened?
Reapers.
Hey!
No!
Hi, buddy! Why are you under
Did
breath?
they see you? What happened?
You alright? You look white as a ghost.
I set off
Before the meeting, yeah. I go
Divine
to.
Kashaw effects.
All right. Asking around quickly, he is back in the room where he's been staying in Whitestone. You go back to his door. It's closed.
Cash?
Nothing.
Are you sleeping?
No.
Break down the door.
Yeah, no.
Cash.
I'm gonna jiggle the lock. Is it locked?
It's not locked.
I open it. Just
Okay.
a crack and look in.
Okay.
I hope you're not naked.
As you open it up, you know, there's no light on the inside, but the light that does come in as you kind of slowly open the door. You can see he's halfway out of his armor and is passed out, like on his back on the bed, like you know, just like one arm out, just snoring loudly, like he was too tired to make it all the way, and just.
Should we do some sleep, or should we talk to him?
I don't know.
He snores.
Wow.
You know, my brother doesn't snore.
No, I know.
Ew.
No, I mean I don't.
No,
not
just,
that I.
just never
Don't worry
mind.
about
I'll let you try this.
I thought I'd be the one to fuck up.
Do I have any, like, stones, any like rocks or anything in my bag?
Wait,
maybe
you're
like
gonna
some-
throw a rock at him?
Yeah, just to see if he wakes up.
We can't just poke him. That seems so weird.
You're an archer. You can.
I've got. Well, I don't want to kill him.
You could put it
Why
up
don't
his
we
nose
just
if you
tap
wanted
on his
It's true.
shoulder?
I'll sneak in, tap his shoulder, come back out, see if he wakes up.
Oh, that's not
I
a bad
don't want him
idea.
to know that that we're
yeah,
here.
that we did that.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll stand on
can
the outside and
okay.
look unsuspecting.
I want to sneak in and just take off his little foot and then walk out.
Oh,
Really
well,
fast.
he still has his boots on.
Shit.
It's more of like his upper torso. He got part way out and then passed out.
I tickle his hand.
Okay, so you go
Yeah.
over and kind of tickle his
Tickle his hand and then go back really fast to the doorway.
Okay. You tickle his hand. No response.
Fucking. I flick his nose.
As soon as you flick his nose and you start to back away, there's a blur of motion. And suddenly he comes leaping out of the bed, grabs over and grabs his spear. His hand reaches for nothing in the air and slings it forward in your direction, just bypassing your face by a few inches. And he looks still halfway, going.
Oh, Cash. Oh, hi. Fancy meeting you here. Shit.
Yeah, it's my room.
I keep doing that. I keep doing that.
It's awkward.
Oh.
Hi.
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 Oh my
He throws his
gosh,
spear
you're
to the
awake.
side.
Oh, good. I was wondering if.
Yeah, I hope we didn't. I hope you weren't sleeping.
I hope I wasn't either. Sure. All right. I'm glad you're here because
Yeah.
it took me a long ass time to get here. And he kind of sits up in the bed and, or sits down back on the bed and reaches over and pulls up one of his packs and brings out a couple of rolls. Just, okay, so I talked to Vanessa.
Yeah.
I got 2 contracts here that we can take up for this.
Okay.
I've got one here, and he pulls it out. He's like, this is for 2 indigenous creatures to the region we were talking about over by on Wildmouth. One is a purple worm matron.
Ooh, that sounds big.
Supposedly. Shit's dangerous.
Yeah.
Careful. This one is for storm giant. This one's a little harder to get a hold of, apparently. They tend to...
They're so
live
hard to
up
get. You
there,
know what? We
but-
should probably focus on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Vorgor's already dead.
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be crazy.
If he
and then-
just was.
What do we do with his contracts if he is? Just wondering about that.
Get out of my room.
Cash.
Just get out.
Cash.
Get out of my room.
Look.
Your help has been
Not
Out
overlooked at all.
Of
We should
my
probably
room.
go.
We should probably go.
Do you want these back?
Out
Do
of
you
my
want...
room.
I'm just gonna set them down
Out
on
of
the
my
ground.
You know, we
I'm
could.
out.
Get out of my room.
By the way, you might want to get like a mouth guard or something because you snore a little.
You leave him in silence and darkness. Out of my room!
How do you do it?
Do what?
You're able to utilize your rage when necessary. How do you keep it suppressed when it's not needed?
Ah. A good question.
Please enlighten me, Professor Grog.
Right, it all comes down to one word, really.
Yeah?
Family. Right, before I was a part of this group, I had no family. Pike took me in, I met all of you, and I had a purpose.
Yeah.
So before that, like, I would be down to fuck anything up at any time, no problem.
Sure.
I still kinda am.
Yeah.
But I realised that if I fly off the handle too soon, it screws over my family. And that's no good, because I care about you. Most of you. So for me, you're gonna get yours. It's coming. And I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna high-five you when it's done. But until then, you keep that shit tucked inside. Let it build. And then when the time is right, you let her have it. And I'll throw you into the fray when the time is right.
Promise?
Yeah, I'll promise.
Deal.
Deal.
Grog,
sorry,
Grog.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I appreciate it.
Spears and just
Before anything crazy happens, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the Spire of Conflux and I'm gonna fireball.
Okay
Where they
then.
are.
Yeah.
I'll wait for that.
Bust it out the fire.
So as they're charging in, you just watch the staff slam in the ground. As it slams in the ground, you can see this, like, at the very tip, there's a small piece of crystalline energy that begins to go from like a dull greenish blue to a bright red. And as it seems to hit the apex of its glow, a single beam of red energy streaks forward towards them as they're all charging.
What's
What's the DC on that?
Where's
What's your DC?
Your spell,
19.
19?
19 on the Spire?
Well, it's whatever her spell DC is when she casts it.
Damn!
And no, none of them make it. 2, 6, 10, 13, 2.
Yeah.
So go roll damage on that.
Scan on the field.
Okay, wait. Oh wait, fireball. I don't know this damage. Hang on.
8d6.
86. Radius 20.
8d6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I get to reroll 1s too because it's fire damage.
11, 12.
And I got 3 1s.
Reroll
so
those.
Those will all get rerolled.
Is that true?
That is true.
It's the ability to
That's
spire.
so good! Okay.
That's nuts.
Says so 10, 15, 25 points.
25 points of damage?
There's another 6 up there, the red one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 25, 20, 30.
30 points of fire damage. As
Thanks,
you guys
Sam.
are getting ready,
Sure.
weapons right, you have both of your daggers out to the side, you have your axe in a batter-up position. You watch as suddenly they burst into red flame and a number of their charred, burning bodies tumble to the ground motionless. As the fire subsides, all 6 have been destroyed by the blast of the fire.
Keeks?
Hey Kiki, what you doing? What
So,
you doing, Kiki? What
You take a long, slow, careful walk down through town
Yeah,
to the guard barracks where
I
he's
try
been.
not to step on any cracks on the sidewalk on my way.
Not a worry.
It's very important.
It's a warmer, more humid day than you're used to in Whitestone. You know, a couple of insects are out and about. There's a lot of aspects of Whitestone you're noticing now for the first time because you really want to focus on anything else. And yet, suddenly, without warning, you stop and realize you're standing right outside of the barracks. And you see there has just recently been a finished training session with the up-and-coming guard, and there sitting off to the side, partially armored and currently sharpening the edge of a spear, is Kashaw.
He's on the outside?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And he's kind of watching you. Like you know how long he's been looking at, like in the middle of sharpening the spear, but he's been standing there for a bit. Kashaw?
Ladies and gentlemen! As Kramer.
I drop to one knee and start like tying my boot. I start retying my shoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like 5 feet from me. Am I not supposed to see that?
Oh my god, Crash! Oh wow, I didn't see you there.
Really?
Oh,
Interesting.
No, what are you?
It was
what
the
are you-
looking at me that threw me.
Sorry, I've had something in my eye ever since the scrying spell earlier. Shit's been blurry. You're clearly in focus now.
Okay.
Hi. Hey, how's it going, man?
Everything's been great. Life's been awesome. What can I help you with?
Wow, okay, Cash. I'm sensing just a little bit of underlying aggression.
Really? It's
Yeah.
underlying?
Okay, look. I know we kind of fucked you with the whole. Look, man.
Really? Why don't you just send me out to get some milk? Go save the world while I'm out there doing that. Huh? What's up there, lady? What? What do you want? Speak!
I'm trying to think of what to say. Please help us. Please help us, dear God. Please help us. We're gonna die and we need you. I'm sorry.
I got nothing to that. What, help you what, first of all?
Okay, you know how we've been like hunting down those dragons?
I vaguely remember it, yes.
Yeah, okay, well we've been doing an okay job because we've killed a few. But now there's like the big one that's left, Thordak, and then we might be kind of sort of working with the one that killed all my people. If you remember, there was one that like killed all. So now we're kind of working with her, and we're gathering an entire army, and we need as many talented and charming and gifted people that we can get. And so I just thought, I'm really sorry we made you be kind of an errand boy. I didn't vote for that, by the way. I just was trying to...
No, keep babbling. This is fun.
I'm sweating for her.
I know, me too.
This is just how the Patrick Rothfuss conversation.
This is how it's going to go with you and Jared.
Pretty similar.
Why should I help you? Give me one reason.
Why did you bring back Vex?
Because I thought Vax would kill me if I didn't.
So maybe Vax will kill you if you don't help us.
Oh, now I'm not really that
Okay, I was
scared
just
of him.
trying to go off of something, you know? Because that's not true. You did it because you're a good person. You ultimately want to see change in the world. I know you do. And I know you care, even though you pretend like you don't. So that's why.
In all fairness, dragons bring change.
Cash, that's not the type of change. There are better ways to bring change than through death and destruction.
Who else is helping you?
Well, everyone, and then Zara.
Z?
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
in. Where is she?
Wow.
And he kind of steps on.
Are these the new models? They've really upgraded.
No, you've just been gone for a while.
Have I been gone that long?
You've been gone a while.
Okay, well, they look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, okay, bye.
Goodbye. As the wind kind of picks up under him and the sky sail begins to lift and glide off, he heads his way back towards the village.
That is fucking cool. We should get out of here.
Yeah, we should.
Laura?
Yes, I believe we should. Well, it was nice to meet him.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I should have introduced you, I guess.
I was waiting. As of the expected pleasantries of diplomacy, but it seemed that you had it all taken care of, so it's fine.
Sorry. Distracted by talking to you as my father and not as Laura.
It was so weird though. You were standing directly behind me.
She's used up all her legendary saves.
Exactly. Exactly.
Alrighty, and it is a intelligence saving throw.
Yes, which she's really good at. But we could get lucky.
Yep.
4 plus 4. Roll a 4. She has an intelligence modifier of 4 and is not one of her saving throws. She is
Shut up!
her intelligence charisma become 1. Cannot cast spells. Cannot activate magical items.
She's just dumb.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my
Did that
god!
really happen? Did that work?
Yeah.
Did that
Yeah.
It's permanent, right?
No. It's
30 days.
She can keep
It's-
saving from it.
Yeah, at the end of every 30 days, she can repeat the
30
saving throw.
She fell off the chair!
Holy fuck! That looks painful.
Oh, Marisha, what a beautiful moment!
What?
Get it!
We still got some problems.
As you reach out, you watch as the tendrils of nature's energy begin to spill out of the cracks in the vicinity.
And I just say, Melora, Come on, girl. Come on, Melora.
You watch as Rayashan kind of chuckles. One of the tendrils lashes out and wraps around the throat. And as they wrap and begin to strengthen around the neck, pouring into the cracks of the flesh where the disease currently holds her throat, her brow begins to sink, the jaw hangs open, and slobber begins to drip from her lower jaw. As Rayashan, just opposed to speaking, now gets to a guttural.
Put out your hand like this.
What's going to happen?
And take your other hand, and you either make a boulder, a piece of paper, or a pair of shears, right? And we do it on 3.
To be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure what's happening either.
You've never played boulder, paper, shears?
That's the best thing you've ever said, Marisha.
Seen the trouble behind your eyes all day. Not surprisingly.
I'm great. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot, yeah. A lot writing on this, but a little surreal that we're here.
Long time coming.
Yeah.
You know, you are already a river to your people.
What?
I know that your life is built up to this moment in many respects. But your father is very proud of you. You've already done a lot. You silenced that dragon. You've done a lot.
I'm just glad I have you all.
You know, I know that you struggle with doubt, and I don't think it's ever going to go away for any of us. Especially for you. I think that's part of the job you're getting ready for. But I don't see it as a weakness. You know, all this time I've remembered Uriel. I'm not big on monarchies and the like, but I liked him.
He was a good man.
Yeah. May his soul rest. And he had doubts. And he let them inform his decisions and tried to do what was right. And the questions you have, I think they speak to your character.
Uriel was also blinded by his unknowns of a lot of problems. So I just hope I don't follow in his footsteps in that regard.
Well, all that matters is what we leave behind us when we go. You've already done a lot of good. And you've taught me to be happy again. I'm very grateful to you. So thank you.
Thank you for believing in me.
You make that easy.
I go up to him and I prop up his back and kind of set him up against my chest and whisper into his ear. Say, I know you can hear me. I know you're still in there. And I'm sure she can hear me too. But your sister is right. You've held up to your promise to her. And you've made a promise to me. We have to settle down and live happily together, remember? You promised me Vesra. So... I want to give you a little bit of light to follow in the darkness. And I find the scar on his back of my handprint. And I find it, and I cast daylight into his back, into the handprint, and say, and besides, you know I'm in love with you, right?
Many dangerous and powerful creatures from all walks of the plains. Pick one. What do you see in your mind?
I think of the Garistro Yank.
Imagine what it's like to be filled with strength. To be filled with the power. Envision the horns, the snarl, the barrel-like fists. And you guys watch as Keyleth's form suddenly begins to shift and grow. And where once was a half-elf Keyleth, you now see, towering above this tiny gnome, eyes still closed, a massive Goristro.
No fucking way.
Well, that's disconcerting.
And everyone goes, and as her hands leave yours, you feel something shift and change, and you hear the slightly more distant voice of Ivana say, "Now open your eyes." And you look down.
Is she stuck like that?
No, she's fine. This is under her control.
Okay.
This incantation is yours. Now, be what you wish. Use these creatures.
I turn into a beholder.
You watch as all her body shifts and becomes a meaty mass with a singular eye and many eye stalks, and you watch as everyone takes 2 steps back. And you,
What is this?
Well,
What is this? Now.
What the fuck?
Are you serious?
What is this? I'm a golden god.
your shape is yours to change, Keyleth.
I change into adult dragon, bronze dragon, adult bronze dragon.
You watch as the beholder that's looking around excitedly suddenly shifts and grows 2 large, broad wings. Claws emerge and the head extends.
Oh dear.
That
But,
is really hot.
That's really big. How? I do a victory lap.
How
is this possible?
Can you like do stuff they do?
Can you? Are you like? Is she like a dragon for real? Does anybody?
Ivana turns to you as you're shouting this. Everyone's kind of watching her fly over. You can see the little bit of light that glows from the city occasionally reflect off the metallic underbody of the dragon as it kind of circles overhead in the dark night sky. Steps off the platform, and you stand in turn, and it's just you there at the base of the tree, looking about at all of Zephyr before you, quiet, silent, and your friends before you at the front of the crowd.
Didn't think I'd make it here. I couldn't have done any of this without not only the support of every person in Zephyr and every person of the Ashari tribe, members of Amon, Taldore, Marquette, even Wildmount. In my journeys, I've learned being a leader is a global effort. one that takes the wisdom of many. Most importantly, I couldn't have done any of this without Vox Machina. And the pieces of them that I've taken away. And have desperately tried to emulate in each one of them over the years. Each one of them with qualities that I admire and strive to embrace. Grog with his strength and his unyielding loyalty. Vex with her self-confidence and utter fearlessness. Vax is one of the most compassionate people I think I've ever come across. And one of the most brave, even if it's maybe foolish. And Percival, with your intelligence and your sensibility, is always there to be my balance. Scanlan, with his charisma and his wit. Pike.
As you glance just past the group, you can see just the faint flutter of golden light and energy, like wherever she is, a part of her is watching.
Pike. Her generosity and her authenticity, always true to herself. And even Terry and Darrington, whose blind faith in Vox Machina and perseverance trusted us, even though he probably shouldn't have.
You're incredible.
All of these things that I learned and couldn't be a leader without. And Vox Machina makes up me. Zephyra makes up me. The Ashari people. And all of Greater Exandria. I don't know if I'm the leader that you deserve or a good leader. But I'm willing to dedicate the rest of my life to doing whatever I can for all of us. As long as Vox Machina stands by my side.
At this point, you watch as the light that remains of the eventually soon-to-come setting sun glints across the cheek of Keyleth. The bit of damp tear that has rolled down her cheek just detaches from the edge of her chin and hits the bottom of the stone. Every cherry blossom in the tree releases.
What?
And drifts past her from behind before being caught up in the wind just past her, causing this swirl of pinks and reds and whites behind her. Everyone around rises up, and they all begin to cheer and clap, all together. You look around and watch the rest of these blossoms kind of slowly drift. You look and see your friends around you, and you look around and see your mother out of the corner of your eye. Just the memory of her. You sense that if she could be here, she would have been. Your father steps up and takes your hands and just says, "I'm so proud of you. And there is much to be done, I know. But I'm proud of you." He takes your hand
and holds it up once more. To the voice of the Tempest and the future of our people. Everyone cheers once more together.
Tempesta!
To slowly start from the top down, forming.
What
Shut
are
up,
you using?
Sam.
What are you using?
This is rough already.
Are you using Alter Self?
No, and I use shape change.
So you're casting Shape Change?
Yes.
Okay. So as they begin to...
Right, because I can't alter self into an Aaron.
No, you cannot. But you did not quite cast Shape Change last time.
Right.
We had spoken, so you're doing it now.
So I'm doing it now.
Okay. So, as they both begin to kind of slowly flank from the sides of the alleyway, and you're holding your ground, insisting that this white one they're asking about belongs to you, they didn't seem to buy your attempt at claiming territory. So you begin to mutter the incantation beneath your breath, your hands move, and you watch as you do so, the chains of the chain devil begin to begin to continue to grind and shift around it like 100 serpents of grinding metal. And the dwarf figure, she kind of begins sauntering up on the other side with this heavy limp as you watch the flesh kind of tearing with small tendrils, kind of revealing beneath, like a series of worms are almost emerging from various folds and gashes in the flesh of the arm. You complete your shape change spell as they're pulling it on you. What do you turn into?
An Aaron, yes.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
What's the...
It's that thing that we fought in the City of Brass?
Yeah, they have challenge level 12. Cool. So you can do that. Okay. So...
There was like the devil that we fought, and then...
with pit fiends.
Yeah, the one that the pit fiend summoned next to it. So you have actually encountered it, so you can do that. So,
yeah, the one that you squared up against with for
won.
most of the time. Yeah.
As you finish the incantation, your skin goes to a pale white, your eyes becoming dark, deep red with these little burning golden coals for pupils. The rest of your skin grows fair but thick with a very, very fine series of scales across it as these giant black red wings emerge from your back and unfold. As they extend past you in both directions, kind of enveloping both sides of this alleyway, both the chain devil and the dwarvish entity kind of stop in their tracks and take a couple of steps back, looking at you intensely.
You know, I never did catch your name. What do they call the two of you?
Make an intimidation check with advantage. because you look like a higher ranking devil.
You got this. In the city of this.
You got this?
You got this.
Oh, I'll take that 18, and I think my intimidation's an 8. No, it's a 7. So 25.
25.
Yeah.
Wow. So as you asked for their name, the chain devil, the chains begin to slow and come to a halt, and what was originally curling upward in this aggressive stance begin to just fall limp to its sides, and just takes another step back.
No need to worry. We apologize for the intrusion.
Are you sure? Because I would love to know, maybe add you to the collection.
The chain devil kind of bows its head and begins to step back, and you see it ushering its hand this way towards the dwarf which is kind of looking confused and begins to hobble backward, and they both just back out of the alleyway in a very submissive, apologetic physicality without even saying a word.
Oh, what's the matter? Where are you going? And then I turn around, and I just start walking cool. But I'm cool.
You can fly.
Yeah, I can fly. But that's also, this is a concentration spell.
Yes, it is.
So I can't do, okay, so I'm gonna, as I kind of, is anyone looking around? Anyone looking around right now?
Make a perception check.
God damn it. 22.
22. You glance up, and right on the edge of one of the 3 to 4 story curved iron towers, you see what appears to be an impish-like creature perched on the end with what looks to be faint, shimmering gold armor that's just peering down at you from the top of the alley.
I look at it.
Oh.
And I just nod.
It doesn't react. Its head kind of twitches a little bit, and it just sets back in itself, looking at you. Its eyes, these gleaming, black, shining discs in the darkness.
And then I start heading back towards the tavern.
It just watches you. And as you exit the alleyway from where you came, the two devils that attempted to assail you there, no longer anywhere in sight.
Before I round the corner, I want to just take and do a quick shape change again to the tiefling that I was.
Okay. As your form changes, as you turn the corner,
Into the tavern.
You enter the tavern. Yep.
Go upstairs to the rest of the group.
Nice.
Did you pee on
Porgy, it's time to go big.
Yeah.
I am going to cast shape change at my 9th level spell.
Okay.
And I am going to turn into a fire giant.
Oh.
A fire giant?
Yeah! So as I'm down, I just, eyes light up, and I start to turn into a giant, and I just want to reach up and grab him by the throat and try and stand up and see if I can, like, pile drive him.
Okay. Everyone grabs hands. You see. You see Tova's like form appear briefly as she puts the ring on and then vanishes once more. You see the rest of them grab arms together. Keyleth, you go ahead and finish the spell. Plane shift.
I'll look you up if I make it out of here alive.
The ring's alone
We
now.
still gotta get that beer.
Greystone keep.
You can see the
Get my robot! Get my robot!
you can see the chain golem swelling as the chains are feeding it. It's growing larger in the chambers. It's getting angry. The red eyes getting brighter and brighter as you all clasp hands together. The light flashes a bright whitish green. There's a high-pitched whine just as you hear devils rushing in from across the hallway. Silence. Sorry.
It's okay.
Next vacation.
Although I
Next
turn to
week.
Pike and Vex and I go, hey, underwater tea party!
I'm not doing that shit.
Wait.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
I thought I was
Rat check.
Before we go any further,
I want to make sure.
Rat
Do I have to be
For
doing a
rats.
short rest to do the inspiring leader thing?
It's 10 minutes it takes to do.
Oh, never mind.
Well, no, we could stand here for 10 minutes.
yeah, no, please.
Let's see what
Fucking
happens.
say some words.
I'm new to the being an inspiring and leader
Yeah,
thing, so
but yeah, it's 10 minutes. It's kind of like before you know you're going to go into something. You stop. and do
I
it.
should have done that at the bar.
Would it be
Probably.
cool if you were just
Next time.
talking us all the way down here?
Yeah, that'd be
Start
great.
it now. We'll see
Yeah,
if it's a
Yeah,
10-minute
start
walk.
it now. Just do it while we're talking.
Okay,
While
okay.
we're walking.
As we walk,
We'll
we'll
walk,
be
we'll
like,
walk real slow.
you know what, guys? I've had a lot of time to think over the year that we've been away, and
The door closes behind Grog, and you hear it kind of lock.
Oh, shit.
and I just, I feel like we've grown so much as people, and
Inspiringly.
you guys are just your family. You're a family to me, and and I go on for a while. Do you guys remember that time in Stillben when we very first met, and we kind of all didn't really like each other, and Grog, I don't think you understood me for a while, but then
Still don't.
See, Grog, do you?
I don't
yeah, that's
remember
fine.
any
That's
of it.
fair. Hey, Grog, do you remember that one time?
This is great, by the way, because at the bottom of the stairs it only goes for about 15 more feet before there's a door, and there's a man on a stool who's just sitting in there going,
We'll just stand there and try to listen to
She'll just be like another
Just-
minute.
just
Just give
a
us
little bit.
one
I'm about to
minute.
find
bit
out what
longer.
the inside of a bag of holding feels like. I swear.
No, she's almost done.
he's not stopping you. So
Do you remember that time that that made you? I think it was the first time I made you laugh, and I turned into an earth elemental, and then pretended to do I'm going down the stairs thing through the floor.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah, that was. Yeah, I just remember that the other day, and I just love you guys so much.
Yeah.
And
I don't feel included in this.
I don't think you were around yet.
No, I wasn't. I was not.
But I love you so much.
Okay, now I feel
know,
better. That's all.
And
Any change in our bodies or anything?
I just want to say I think
She's going for 10 in-game
you
real
said it had to be 10 minutes.
So as you guys
we've
are
grown a lot
all
as people. I think we
in the
really got
hallway,
this.
Grog at the back. You can't move forward because everyone's stopped, and you're just kind of like. All of you who wish to can take 17 temporary hit points as part of the inspiring leader feat.
Oh yeah, you want to mock you until you realize you get a hit point.
Full silence.
All right. As you guys clasp hands and begin the intricate incantation for the earthquake spell, you can hear the cheers of people on the rooftops. They're standing up now, and they're all shouting, "Yes! Yes, I hear you!" You get the sense that perhaps you aren't the only ones that have been spoken to, although the conversations may differ from individual to individual. As you guys complete your incantation, you watch as the dust begins to rise around the base. And you see Entropis begin to quiver back and forth. And you watch as everyone begins to rush to the edges of the rooftops, then rush into the streets to look up, their hands raised to the sky, not sure what this means, but basking in whatever glory this next sign or omen is to be. You watch as a loud, shattering crack sound hits, and you watch as one large, snaking, carving line begins to work its way up one side of the tower. Up another. And the collective gasp of hundreds of voices across the city seem to echo. You watch as one side buckles, and the tower begins to slowly
Child, and we all hold hands. And
Are you turning back to your form then?
yes, I drop form and I pull out my tuning fork and my flowers, and I think deep about the Gilded Run and the Shade Merc blog and the beautiful pond that we appeared around that we know there's a portal right near it, and that's what I think about just strongly. And I say, everyone think about the pretty ponds.
Feywild Spring Break, motherfucker!
Spring Break 2017, Feywild!
Roll. Okay, so
oh boy,
you're good against.
Very good.
Charlie Brown.
Vecna's going to attempt a counterspell.
Yep. Seventh level counterspell against him.
Yeah! I knew that's what you were waiting for. I knew that's what you were waiting for. Oh, I knew that's
that
what
was
you
some
were
old school Magic the Gathering shit right there.
That looks like the most friendly.
Amicable tree.
Amicable tree.
Make a nature check.
All right.
Not that one. That one's an
Just-
asshole.
That one. Yeah,
see,
this one looks
see
like a
which one
dick.
seems the most approachable of all the other trees.
Right, go one.
Way the nuts.
Yep.
It's a natural one. So I don't know. They all might.
You see one tree that looks definitely the most amiable of the ones in the field, and you approach
no,
it.
it's gonna be a shithead now.
Yeah. Amicable.
That means friendly.
Pick your turn.
Amicable, amiable. All right, I'll talk to a tree. Yeah, let's go
All
talk
right.
to that
As
tree.
you finish casting your spell and reach out, your finger touching the warm exterior of the tree. The light's still a little blinding, but you've adjusted to it now, where you can make out shapes and color as opposed to just like the blaring white. What do you say?
Hey, Suntree bro.
Well.
Are you a Suntree bro? Are you a Suntree? Brother? Are you a brother? Are you? What's your name?
She is.
I'm a tree of the sun.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm not your bro.
No. I mean, I didn't know if you knew the sun tree that grew in Whitestone on the prime material plane. I didn't know if you knew him or not.
So because I'm a tree of the sun, you assume that I know all other
No,
trees of the
that's
sun? Is that
not-
what this is? Is this one of those things?
I just didn't.
We all just look alike, don't we? All of us trees of the sun, right?
So can you tell me a little bit about this plane? How do we talk to Palor? How do we see him?
I recommend probably going towards the giant golden fortress that is right behind you. It's probably a good place to look while the light's coming from.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. I have a friend who wants to know about the fruit. He's wondering if the fruit is
Gonna eat it?
souls. If he can eat the fruit.
The fruit is not souls. It's fruit.
Then you
communication!
You didn't
The
hear
Dawn
it.
Father's the god of the harvest. I mean, good luck. Sorry if I came off a bit brusque. It's been a long time since anyone's talked to me, and
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you if I did.
apology accepted.
Would you like a hug?
No, I would most definitely not like a hug.
Okay. Well, it was wonderful meeting you. Absolutely thank you. All right, bye. Okay, bye.
Good day.
What a beautiful tree you found. It casts so much shade.
Yeah, let's keep going.
I'm the only one who understands this, but I just needed something that was mine for a little while. So little of who we are is ours. And I knew it would end, but it was nice.
Wow.
Ioun is quite a goddess, and she does not respect secrets, though, and I, on the other hand, feel that secrets can be precious.
Apparently. I just don't understand why you were still enigmatic after you already told us in front of Paylor.
I thought that,
It's kind of a slap in the face.
Well, I thought she may kill me at that point. That was honestly fearing for my life there a little bit.
Mm.
And at that point, everything was just so awkward.
I hope you know my frustration is only out of, well, what you just said, I guess. Wanting something to be mine that I won't have.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
Some things you don't get to keep.
Yes, one of the bonuses of not being one of the chosen of the gods is we don't have to believe in destiny.
No, we don't.
We just, I think, heard a big speech from a god about not believing in destiny.
I followed destiny my whole life.
I know.
And it wasn't until I got to the end that I realized that the whole thing was kind of ironic.
Yeah. Why do we have to listen to anything they say?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to the faithless.
This is actually
I
a
kind
book.
of inhaled
I'm not
a little
drinking,
bit.
but I
That
don't
wasn't
know.
intentional.
That was a plant. You have been holding a plant, and I've been holding a book. That got weird.
Voice is completely shot, and I don't want to.
Oh, please.
Do a
don't-
speech?
Yeah, but we need it.
I am going to do an interpretive dance of us swimming through the volcano and then going underground and shielding ourselves and then fighting and then Grog forging the travels. That's what it is. Still shouting.
So you fly
I've got a 5-foot reach range. And when I do my multi-attack as my Planitar,
Already.
so 2 hits with +2. I'm gonna do Gil and.
Come on, Captain Planet, do it.
Took on 3 fights in the same day.
God damn. Okay, that's a natural 19 on one and a natural 16 on the other, +12 for both of those. For the 16, we have 20.
Those both hit.
Okay, okay. And then for both of those, 4d6
46 plus 7.
and then an additional 5d8 radiant damage.
Correct.
Wow.
Kiki, it's
So
yours.
get that. Okay, so for the d6s alone. Okay, that's 6 plus 4, that's 10, plus another 5, 15, plus 3 is 18.
18
Plus 7, so that's
25.
Uh-huh. I'm just doing the d6s. 25. And then not as great the second time.
All those?
Not
No, not in this one.
not for this. Only elemental damage. So
5, 6, 7, plus another 7, so 14.
14, okay. And then now 10d8 radiant
And that's
damage.
10d8 radiant damage. Let me just roll these twice. Okay, so the first one.
Leatherface is coming down.
Okay, 10 plus 7, so 17 plus another 7 is
24 damage.
24.
And the next set.
Radiant. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 19 damage, radiant damage.
How do you want to do this? Like the rest of the bone.
What?
It feels metal.
Okay, I try and earth clear.
Earth clear?
Earth clear. Clear eyes.
Make a strength check.
Ever clear.
Wow, it's been a long time.
This is stressful. Oh! Natural 18, 23.
Hey, that's
Well, you take 7 points of acid
Wait, no,
damage.
24?
Okay, take 7 points of acid damage.
7?
Yes. You're good. You're good. As you reach out and you grab, and you can now glance through and see this is the hilt of a blade. And it's stuck in the muck, and as you yank it free, you pull it out of the muck, and it's free at this point. You're surrounded by skeletal bones, and you feel the fingers kind of pulling at you and tearing. And you look around you as all of these corpses, these broken corpses, all begin to grasp at you at the base of your and begin to
I go up to the cavern, I'm out. I'm bailing with this.
Okay, so you're holding, you can't pull this into the rock with you. So you're kind of,
What?
We discussed this.
it's metal, it doesn't come into the
that's
rock,
right.
it doesn't earth glide with you. So you have to kind of, you can glide up with your hand out.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Okay, well make enough,
beating
make
as
enough,
I go upwards.
make another strength check to see if you can break the grapple of the undead hands that are now
Oh,
grabbing
God.
and trying to hold you there at the bottom of the basin.
Can I see any of this happening?
Okay, 21.
No. 21, you do manage to break free. You suffer another 5 points of acid damage.
That's fine.
And you begin to earth glide your way up. You get about halfway up and suffer another 9 points of acid damage.
84, 70, 76. Okay, yeah,
And you
still going.
And you eventually emerge from the top as you suffer another 7 points of acid damage. And just manage to earth glide. You watch as all of a sudden the water kind of separates and bursts, and you watch as her earth elemental form emerges, its hand kind of coming up through the water, clutching what looks to be a blackened blade. Yep.
Bigby's hand?
Scanlan being held up by Bigby's hand in the center. Black-winged angel of fate and death on one side. The white-winged planetar of Keyleth representing life on
With
the other.
antlers.
With
Still want
antlers.
antlers. Always
Flies
always
up.
antlers.
You take the book from Scanlan. You spend your action to try and read it.
Yes.
Yes. Which you can because you're planetar form.
Yes.
Come on now. Come on now.
Do I get anything like
First
what do I
off,
do?
you
What do I
have
do?
nothing.
I've got inspiration and
just read it because
and
you
the
can read
D4, right?
Yeah.
I inspired
you again?
It's his saving throw.
He saves.
He saves.
You just read it.
You just read it. You begin to recite from the text like Scanlan did as the mysterious words begin to emit from the...
What is it?
Can I do
What
any,
is it?
Can I use this to roll?
What is it?
Take a quick picture of this.
What does that mean? It's always so bad.
Normally it's.
Don't you be texting that fast.
As you read from the book, page after page, the words come out, something you don't seem to understand in your mind, but the form understands, and as it does, the runes glow. You look up as the trammels begin to glow. 1, 2, you hear this sucking sound. How do you guys want to do this?
And you've been giving us really good inspiration speeches. Get up and say something.
Yeah.
Just get up and say.
Get up and say something. It's not
Say something really awesome.
We'll just tell people it was brilliant. It was great.
Okay. I step forward.
So as you stand here amongst this procession of warriors,
people that now look up and don't see Keyleth the druid, they see the voice of the Tempest. They see one of the, as to probably be remembered, saviors of the city and beyond. All eyes are on you as High Bearer Ford steps away.
Still holding your hand.
The bravery of Vasselheim remains evident on this day. And you all should be proud that your reputation of a city unfallen by invasion or attack remains. And that it's only because of the faith and the bravery and the strength of the citizens of this amazing city. We of Vox Machina are proud and honored to have fought by every single one of you. And we vow to continue to stand by your side through the rest of our days. Huzzah!
Jan.
Eventually retire to Zephyra. Go be the actual lead of my people. Continue to get in any type of phrase that these people invite me on, as it reminds me of the good old days and keeps with my promise to protect this realm anytime this realm needs protecting. And I find Carrick at some point. Seek out Carrick, make sure he's okay, reconnect with him, have coffee, you know.
Yeah, he's a quick jaunt from Zephyra, thankfully. Western's not that far. It's one of the closer large cities outside of Stillben.
Perfect.
So
we're weekend buddies. We go to wine country. And then I work on the propagated sprig from the sun tree and continue to build it out, hopefully on the ley lines of the planet. And I take the feather that Pike gave me from Vax and I embed it into the trunk of the tree, as well as any other relics from the Raven Queen I can find. Care for ravens as much as I can.
there is an uptick of ravens in the space of Zephyra as well. Not many, but more than there would be, which is usually 0.
And from the branch of the sun tree, create my own raven tree of the Ashari. Take a long, 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 long time before I maybe date again. Maybe. But eventually, hopefully, after a long, 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 long time, sunset into the tree and kind of become a part of this realm.
That's a ways off for you.
Ways off.
But you begin those preparations.
But that's the plan.
Well, you, Keyleth, who many only once saw the naive druid girl, your level of respect now is carried with that mantle that you hold. And the Council of Tal'Dorei occasionally calls upon your wisdom and guidance. The alliance between the civilized and the natured world of the land is irrevocably in Tal'Dorei bound to you at this point. Between you and the Earth Ashari that reside up in the Cliff Keep. Between occasional jaunts to Imon and Whitestone, you find renewed joy in the protection of the people there. One cold Carisar, the 13th, the 10th month of the year. The cool summer dusk day closes and you emerge from the quarters to find the harrow. The winds just come and blow through your hair. You step out at the sound of children laughing, as a dozen Ashari kids, elf, dwarf, orc, many bloods and creeds, rush past as they play. It's a familiar sound. It's a happy sound. You glance over at this village you're protecting, and the people that truly look up to you as their leader. Both, not just from a might source, but as a guide. And you look to them to teach you things every day as well. Looking past as the sun begins to set, you see Corin standing by the cherry blossom at the edge of the cliff near the amphitheater where you had your ceremony. And pinks and oranges and purples, the sunset take the sky. As you approach, he still looks out. He's older, not too much older, but older. As he notices you approach, he looks over. In all my years, not a day passes where awe does not strike me at the beauty of this world. He looks over towards the sunset. Don't ever lose the memory of every face whose strength helped you keep this light from fading. Every single face.
I don't think it's the faces that keep this light from fading. I think it is what it is. We're lucky to experience it. If you are lucky to think it's beautiful, you taught me that. I don't have to appreciate this. Especially not after what I've seen. But I do.
You need to.
Only because of what I've seen.
And you see a bit of heartbreak in him, but he nods his head and reaches out and takes you in and holds you there on the cliffside, the winds just being kept at bay. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's all I ever wanted. It's weird. Once you reach a life goal, and then realize you have the rest of your life. I guess I just find new goals. Sometimes it's hard being a prodigy. Because then you just grow up to be a regular adult.
And he pulls you in tighter. You'll always be my girl. My little Keyleth.
Thanks, Dad.
I love you.
I love you.
Anyway, I should get to seeing if dinner preparations are being made. Looks to be a cold night. And he tugs your hand and walks back and leaves you there on the cliffside looking out. As the sunlight slowly blinks away over the horizon, leaving you with the purples and blues, the night sky as the stars begin to glitter out. You hear a raven caw catch your ear as you glance up into the branches of the cherry blossom tree. There's just one raven.
Focus.
It flies down, lands on your shoulder. It's a bigger raven than any you've seen before. You've not seen this raven around.
Little scratch.
It leans into it. And every day that raven comes to visit. And that's where we're going to close the campaign.